Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Capital Fit, where I discuss your wealth in your health, because what is your wealth? Without your health, 30-year financial advisor, got into biohacking and really focusing on my health 5 years ago, and I've never felt better. And it's due in part to all these great practitioners and professionals and thought leaders and naturopath MDs and chiropractors and stem cell experts. And I happen to have in the studio here in Populi in Old Town Scottsdale, who flew in from Irvine this morning, Dr. Philip Yu. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. My gosh. We on the video, if you have the video version of this and go to my YouTube, or if you don't have it available and then you can't find it, just send me a text to 602-692-6069. I'll send you the YouTube link because you want to see the cover of your book that I saw maybe 8 months ago at a mutual acquaintance's office up in North Scottsdale. I saw this in his office. He had like a stack of them. He said, yeah. I grabbed it. I read it like walking out, get to my car, get to my destination, read it even more. I flip it over. I see your name. I go on Instagram. I connect with you. You had 90,000 followers at the time, and you got right back to me.
Yeah.
On the Instagram message. So thank you.
Jim Stroll's People Unlimited.
Jim Stroll. Yeah. Shout out to Jim Stroll. That's People's Unlimited. Another longevity expert, and he's got the heart of a lion and getting the message out that your mindset will control your longevity.
That's right.
And stem cells will control your longevity
there you
too.
Go. Yeah.
We're here to let people know, my audience, that has been really growing in the last 2 years. I've had shows to educate them on what's out there, what's available, the misinformation that's out there that is pervasive. And now this new kind of an opening and awareness of stem cells, that they're not some crazy biological agent that it's going to, grow a third eye or something if it doesn't work. But it's nature, it's humanity, it's the essence of how the body heals itself.
Exactly.
It's a signaling molecule.
There
we just
go.
had Dr. Jacoby in the office here in the podcast right before you got in, and I've learned so much from him on his 2 books, Sugar Crush and Unglued, and I've learned a lot about yours. So I'm excited. What inspired you to write the book? And then we'll kind of let the audience know a little bit about your background after we answer that question.
Yeah, so born in New York, grew up in Michigan, so fellow Midwesterner. And, my dad was a medical doctor, right, psychiatrist. So I grew up seeing him in a library with all the physicians' desk references, studying that. I think, medicine is about prescribing drugs, so.
Naturally.
Yeah. One day he was driving from Detroit to Florida, going through Tennessee. He had a headache. So stopped by, checked in a hotel, and didn't wake up. So he had a stroke. And my mom had to pay $10,000 to have emergency evac flight from Tennessee back to Detroit. And I was thinking, why wouldn't a medical doctor's insurance cover his emergency evac back?
Right.
And they couldn't save him. All right. And that was a big wake up call.
How old were you?
That was 2001, 2002. Boy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I'm 55 now. So do the math. 35-ish, right?
Yes. Right. Yeah. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah. So,
wow. And
even before he passed away, I was always into like more natural stuff. So when I was lifting weights in the weight room, because I used to work in the football players for athletic training, I was lifting too much too soon and, hurt my back, and nothing helped, right? Didn't want to take drugs. So I went to a chiropractor and he fixed me up. Oh, this is what I want to do. So finished my pre-med and went to National University of Health Sciences in Chicago, got my doctorate in chiropractic, did that for 15, 20 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Got burnt out, and then I retired from that. What am I going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
And I tweaked my shoulder doing CrossFit. And then it forced me to learn, how can I fix my shoulder without surgery or cortisone, because that eats your joints, right? I knew it was so bad I couldn't even lift my finger to reach the garage door opener in my visor in my car.
Oh my God.
Let alone do, any presses or stuff or,
wow.
Or even a pull-up. So had a stem cell done, all right? And I can tell you this day, as long as I warm up, it's pretty much 95, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I just broke the California, for my age category, deadlift record, right? 518
Nice.
for 55 years old.
518
Yeah.
pounds.
And then the total, I got the state record total for my age for the squat, bench, and dead. It was something like 1,240 pounds total or something.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I mean, my joints, I don't have back pain. Shoulder's good if I warm up. So then I started offering it to our patients, right? Hired a medical director so we can do it. I'm just the manager, right?
Right.
And then from there, it took off. And then it inspired me to write this book about stem cells work through signaling mechanisms, like we talked about. Like that's how peptide work. They signal different mechanisms, right?
Correct. The title is Star Tech, Stem Cell Signaling.
There you go.
The Future of Drug-Free Non-Surgical Regenerative Medicine by Dr. Philip Yu.
There you go.
DC and PhD.
Yeah, because in chiropractic school, we learned that we were thought of as like, oh, that's woo-woo, right?
Yeah, I come from Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah.
School of
Palmer as the first chiropractic school. I took my boards there, part 4.
Yep.
A lot of people failed that. I passed,
and my mom was in the medical community, and she was an X-ray
Yeah.
technician and lab tech, and my cousin became chiropractor, and there was just this disconnect between my mom's world at the hospital and working for an MD versus chiropractic, and then I had that bias.
Exactly.
Like, and I had like, okay, should I, really believe in what my cousin TJ Lonergan, shout out to him, chiropractor, and how he sees the world and how to heal people, or my mom's, right? And so I really didn't realize what a unique practice of a body of work, what chiropractic care really is. It's about signaling. It's about the flow of energy, and how the body gets locked up and loses its ability to communicate and signal, which is
signal.
Getting back to signal.
You see, that's why we were called, woo-woo, because we're taught the whole philosophy is chiropractic is we're manipulating the spine, treating the body through nutrition, energy work, to stimulate the body's own innate immune system to heal itself. So that sounds like woo-woo, right? But now we know what is the mechanism that the innate immune system heals itself. It's through stem cell signaling, your body's own stem cells.
Yes.
And we know, what those signal molecules are called? Exosomes. Everyone's starting to know that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's the exosomes that's released from the stem cell that homes in on the inflammation or disease.
And then tells it's sort of like what Dr. Jacoby and I have talked about in this book and on the show here.
Yeah.
We co-host each other's shows. Is you're right. You get to the scene of an accident, and you got the fire truck and the ENT and the police, and you see the fire, and all of a sudden, then what's next? Then the stem cells, exosomes, start to send out various signals to get other vehicles to come in and put it out and put out the fire.
It's called the paramedic. It's called the fire guys. It's called the biohazard waste guys.
Right.
So they're kind of controlling everything.
And it's just
to get rid of what? The cause of every disease, inflammation, the heat, the fire.
The heat, the fire.
So the signal molecules are like firemen. They're going through your body looking where the inflammation
is. And you make it
is.
pretty well easy to read, by the way, when I started reading through it.
Yeah, you got to talk, as if you're talking to an 8th grader.
It does.
You can't assume they know what,
but
mesenchymal stem cell is.
You go through all the, the history, talk about you and your life, and then you bring into the equation like what you're talking about here on the show, how this actually works, and that people don't have to be scared about it. Because I didn't know about it till really 5 years ago, and I've had 4 surgeries in my knee from a ski injury back in the day, ACL repaired by the orthopedic surgeon for the Minnesota Vikings, and 1986 when it happened. So I had a fantastic doc. And normally in an ACL, you'd have that long scar down your leg, but he had a small scar.
That's good.
Used my middle patellar tendon, made that as the new, and that was in 1986. I've had 4 surgeries to clean it up since, but my meniscus is not real happy, and I don't think there's much there. But thank goodness for 3 injections of stem cells the last 5 years. I will ski all day.
There you go.
I'll play pickleball. I have no pain as I sit here. So it's been a miracle for me.
Yeah. That being said, mentioning knees, I finally got my first peer-reviewed stem cell study published online.
Really,
And
how do people find it?
you can go in and write 5-year follow-up regenerative protocol for knee osteoarthritis. Philip Yu.
Nice.
So we
Congratulations.
we had an 86-year-old female patient, and she had double knock knees, like pigeon toed. And when you're knock knee, the stress is on the outside of your knees. The outside of her knees were bone and bone and X-ray. She needed 2 knee replacements. Did not want that. Couldn't go up and down the stairs. It would lock up at night. Right? She couldn't roll over. So we tried the Wharton's jelly, mesenchymal stem cells,
which is what I've had.
Yeah, and we stimulated that with several laser treatments. The laser stimulates the cells through photobiomodulation. And a year later, you can visibly see in my study the bone-on-bone knee regenerated the cartilage space back as if she was, I don't know, 20 years old. So we did a 5-year follow-up. She still, some of the space did degenerate, but she still has space.
Yes.
But the important thing is she could still go up and down the stairs pain-free at 91 years old. So it doesn't matter how old you are.
Right.
How old are the stem cells you're using now? You
can in our body, we lose stem cells every single year.
Yeah.
So by the time we're 50, PRP, that's what a lot of folks do. They do they pull out your blood derived, right, and spin it and stick it back in. How ineffective is that as compared to the Wharton's jelly from someone's placenta and umbilical cord?
Yeah, because most athletes are done at 30 because that's when your stem cell growth really takes a dive and you can't repair. Right.
And you talk about that in the book.
Yeah. So now there is a type of stem cell that is kind of circulating in your bone marrow blood and your peripheral blood called V cells. I talk about it in my book. Very small embryonic-like stem cells. So these are dormant stem cells that are asleep, that they're remnants from when you're an embryo, right?
Right.
But they're circulating around in a quiescent or dormant state. But if we take it out with PRP, right, and then we stimulate it with certain frequencies of laser, we can wake up these very small embryonic stem cells, which theoretically are the best because they're younger.
And I think people are waking up to how amazing our bodies are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've been told for 100+ years that you need an outside agent to minimize your chronic condition.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like in the body gets this chemical, this pharmaceutical, and it goes, what is this thing?
Exactly.
It's some foreign agent.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to your cells, it's been degraded so far through your acids to your, the body's like, I don't want this in my cell, right?
Yeah.
But not stem cells.
Yeah. So, another way to get it is from what's called afterbirth tissue. So a lot of people are like, oh, you're using from aborted babies. No. This is from the umbilical cord placental tissue after the baby's born and delivered.
And that's what I had.
And normally, the hospital will throw it away. It's medical waste because we didn't know there were live stem cells in there. In fact, I think
the placenta, or the umbilical cord, lasts for many days.
Yeah. In fact,
surgery.
Yeah. Well, you gotta, freeze it.
Yeah.
You can freeze it. But the thing is, we cut the umbilical cord right at birth, right? That's a mistake. They should massage all those cord blood stem cells into the baby. It'll be healthier. The immune system will be stronger.
Yeah.
It can resist all these, environmental insults,
Right.
And they won't have to think, let's vaccinate it instead. No, let's use its own, innate stem cells and massage it in. But they cut it. Boom, boom, boom. Here's what they should do. They should massage it in for 5 minutes, all the cord blood stem cells. And those are the most important, your immune stem cells.
Incredible.
Right? And then it has hematopoietic stem cells for like angiogenesis, blood vessel growth, all that, red blood cell formation. And they should siphon the rest of the cord blood, freeze it. And they should also freeze the umbilical cord tissue where the Wharton's jelly is. And then they can grow it, expand it. Right.
Sherry Lund does that here in town.
Yeah.
Sherry Lund.
Yeah.
Her clinic.
And store it. And you can use it on yourself your whole life.
Yes.
And you're going to use your
It's
own,
your own.
stem cells to cure yourself.
your
There's
own
no
pharmacy.
rejection risk or
That's the future.
that's
What you just said.
but there's no profit in cures right now. So to this day, the FDA, they don't let you grow it. That's why you have to go outside of the country.
Oh my gosh.
And
Do you think that's
yeah.
changing?
Eventually, I mean,
Yeah.
we have RFK in office, he's
Yes.
trying to get, more, natural functional medicine,
Right.
more, promoted.
So the
think
book is
so.
on stem cells. Now I want to let the audience know about, this is amazing.
Yeah.
They can read about that.
Mhm.
Email you what's your email address?
Yeah, so you could go info@ocspinedisc.com. That's disc with a C. So ocspinedisc.com.
Okay.
Info@ocspinedisc.com. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now I want to talk about a treatment that I had no clue what I was walking into 3 years ago, with ozone blood treatment, blood coming out of one vein of one arm, going into a machine and coming in to another vein on my other arm. And boy, did I feel pretty unique after that. I can't even describe how I felt.
Yeah.
But and then that's what really fascinating with me. If you go to your Instagram, is Super Stem Cell PhD, Super Stem Cell PhD. You have 200,000 followers. You have your
I just hit that like yesterday.
amazing. When I first saw you and saw the book and connected on Instagram, I think you had 90,000. So you've grown up your audience. You have 3 clinics, 2 in California, 1 here in Mesa, for the audience and our listeners to understand what this is. And it's basically your oil change for your blood.
Yeah.
And it's helped so many people. Long COVID, folks and you're finding out all the crud in the body if you've had the vaccine, and all the problems that have been occurring because of that.
Exactly. So coincidentally, I wore my I Love EBU shirt. So,
And that stands for?
So EBU stands for extracorporeal, outside the body, blood, oxidation, ozonation. So just like you said, we take blood from one arm, okay? It looks like dialysis, but it's not, okay? Because in dialysis, they have a fistula port. They connect it here. You have to get the vein, right? And it's hooked up to the machine with a pump, so it's going to pull the before blood out, okay? And usually the blood, it's going to be dark because it's venous blood. It doesn't have oxygen, and a lot of times you could see particles of like plaque.
And you show this in your Instagram, which you have here, all these videos. And it's such an educational for the audience. And
the first Instagram post, this one, look at that clot, 36 inches. Yeah, show the camera. Look at that. You can see him pulling it out. Now that didn't clot in his IV line because we use heparin to thin it out. We literally pulled it out.
Oh my
catheter.
gosh!
Yeah, look at that thing. Yeah.
And so what happens over time?
Yeah,
he's pretty happy.
Yeah,
you should give us certificates for these records, right? Frame it.
Well, morticians are finding these COVID vaccination patients with calamari clots. They look like squid. So we don't know if it's that drying up, and it's just hard to find a pathologist to do the analysis of what this stuff is. Yeah,
something we've never seen.
Yeah,
and our
morticians haven't seen these clots before the pandemic. And we're pulling these out all the time. And a lot of people who's been vaccinated, all those spike proteins from the mRNA vaccine, from Moderna or Pfizer, those are like spikes, and they literally stick to the inside, lining, interstitial lining of your blood vessels, clog it up, causing inflammation, can cause a stroke. They stick to your heart muscle, causing myocarditis. You could be at risk of a myocardial infarction,
so
heart attack.
You're really healing people just by cleaning their blood. So how did you hear about this machine?
Well, health starts in the blood, okay? Because if your blood is, clogged up with inflammation, atherosclerosis, bad plaque, bad lipids, glycated sugar.
That's it, sugar. Dr. Jacoby talks about that for sure in his books, right?
Yeah, because sugar, cholesterol gets a bad rap. Cholesterol is sent to the blood vessel to coat it, to protect it from the inflammation from glycated sugar.
Yes.
So this gets the glycated sugar out.
I know.
It decreases your spike protein load because we could test your spike protein antibodies through LabCorp. It's called the spike protein quant test. Like we had a patient, she said she's over 25,000 and, so we could monitor that and see, well, how many of these blood oil change EBU treatments do you need to bring down that load? And there's other tests like D-dimer that's tests your risk of stroke, stuff like that, fibrinogen. So yeah, we're putting together the protocols and do research right now.
So people can go to the clinic in Irvine, Palm Desert, and Mesa.
Yeah, Palm Desert's the main one right now.
Okay.
It's a destination clinic. We want people to stay there and heal.
Yes.
Not just rush in and
Palm
out.
Desert. Where is it there?
Yeah. Well, it's Cook Street right there.
Sure. Yeah. Great.
The 10. And then we have a pop-up clinic in Mesa. We just come once a month because of the demand.
Right.
But it fills up. It's
eventually, I'll get my daughter over there, who's a phlebotomist.
Yeah,
she'll get over there.
Get her in the team. Yeah,
they're in the team. Emma's been a phlebotomist for 3 years. She graduated with honors from ASU in the fall from pre-med, and she's looking at a physician's assistant school. Perfect. So we'll talk to her about it. I let her know that you're here. Yeah. And I said you're going to be on my show. So
that's perfect.
We'll send her the show and say, Emma, please get a hold of Dr. Yu.
Yeah. So that being said, what's my mission, right?
Yeah.
My dad died of a stroke. So
yes.
I inherited.
My dad had a stroke when I was 14.
Yeah. That's
in 1980. Massive stroke. And so we have that in common. I didn't know this.
And we may have found a method to prevent that through this blood oil change treatment. So kind of for selfish reasons, I did it on myself. I don't want to end up like my old man, and 7 years later, he died at 62. I'm 55. Do I have 7 years left?
Right.
I inherited his bad lipids, right? So, and I got, pre-diabetes from my mom, right? And although I'll eat keto or do CrossFit, I can't change my blood. Never been able to pass a life insurance exam. My blood work was so bad. I had high iron and all that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't outwork bad genes, right?
Yes.
So, but most diseases are epigenetic.
That's correct.
So you could improve that. So how can I epigenetically clean my blood? After 6 EBUs, my total cholesterol was like 208, got down to 141. The LDL was cut in half.
Oh my gosh.
My apolipoprotein B was like 90 and cut that in half to like 42. My ferritin, the iron, hemochromatosis, off the charts, 450. That's toxic.
So I had my blood work done last year, and I did an EBU 3 years ago. I probably need another EBU, don't I?
Yeah.
Or at least.
Well, according to your blood work and how you feel.
Sure.
Yeah, but I got my ferritin down to like 40s. It's normal, and then my liver enzymes are improving.
Triglycerides.
Yep. I'll improve it. Yeah.
All that after 6 treatments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you do a package deal or a one-off deal? Because a lot of folks.
Well, some people could try one, but you're wasting your time. The average male has about 6 liters of blood, the female 5 liters. So we could only filter out safely 2 liters at a time because the filter has a limit.
You're right.
So how much toxins
the cost of the filter, cost of the time, machine.
Yeah.
It usually runs on like around
some clinics are charging $2,500. We feel that's a little high.
Yeah.
Because you have to do multiple rounds. We try to stay reasonable. It's $1,500 for one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buy a set of 3, it's like $1,333 each.
Okay.
Yeah. So we try to make it reasonable. And
which is life-changing. It sends the blood through the filter, through UV, through ozone, and adds ozone at the end. It's quite a complex process.
Yeah, after it goes through that filter, looks like a dialysis.
And everything is on the Instagram.
Yeah, you can see the process.
It's all, and you have so much great content. All these videos you've done.
Yeah,
and you've built this massive community of people, and that's just driving patients to these clinics.
And we're finding, guess who the two most top type of patients that we're attracting?
Athletes.
Vaccine injured.
I know.
Or people who all of a sudden had these issues
they
didn't have before they were vaccinated,
right.
For COVID, such as strokes. We had a world champion MMA fighter, Masters. I never had an issue. 2 heart attacks after his second or third, like Pfizer, while he's competing in jiu-jitsu. Out of breath. I think after his second or third EBU, he's competing again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, more oxygenation to his heart and lungs. We're decreasing, filter out those spike proteins. So, we are getting athletes like that. But
so the average doc doesn't have this machine in their clinic?
You don't learn.
Even a concierge doc. Are they talking? I mean, I've had a doctor, former cardiologist, Dr. Todd Hurst
Yeah.
on the show here, and he went concierge, left
Yeah.
Mayo after 20 years.
Mhm.
I
Well, medical school,
we
chiropractic
gotta-
school, DO school, I don't care. You don't learn, oxidative stress.
right.
You don't learn mitochondrial dysfunction,
Oh,
stem
and
cell
even those-
signaling.
right.
So
So who's teaching this?
of
naturopaths?
course, you're not going to learn, extra blood, corporeal,
Right.
oxidation, ozonation. So, well, for the stem cell knowledge, I got a PhD, and then I'm a fellow at the American Academy of Stem Cell Physicians. And it took me 3 years to become a fellow. I did pass exams, get training.
Wow.
And we have a bioskills lab.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so
You bring
it's
so much value.
postgraduate,
You bring so much
postgraduate.
value.
The EBU I never wanted to get involved in EBU. When I was a chiropractor, I didn't want anything to do with the blood. I didn't want to check your cholesterol even or prick your finger. Then I hired a medical director, integrated practice. We started doing PRP, called TrueDose, getting all these great results. Then we added this, the Wharton's jelly, the birth tissue products. And then I'm like, what's the next thing? And then after EBU, pretty much normalized my blood work. This is what we got to do.
Got it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad.
So I'm like, man, if we go in a time machine, get my dad on EBUs.
I know.
And maybe he'd still be around,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate your purpose and your drive and your passion for this, to healing.
And of course, we could do a whole podcast on peptide signaling. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, we'll get you back to do that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll tell everyone, all the guys are on TRT over 40.
Yeah.
I never took it because I don't want my testosterone normal blunted. I don't want my testes shrinking.
Right.
So I use some peptides and some prohormones. Right.
Okay.
And they're not synthetic. So
let's talk about that.
My testosterone before I tried these peptides and prohormones was like really low, like 450.
Right.
And so I got it up to 966. That's like a teenage boy. Waking up with Woodies,
because of peptides.
Because of enclomiphene,
okay,
pregnenolone, and DHEA. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna send all this to me,
of
so
course,
I can share it.
And then I throw some like CJC 1295 for growth hormone release, ceramorelin and tesamorelin.
You're doing all this.
Yeah, and
phenomenal.
And there's this Wolverine stack, BPC 157, TB 500.
That's right. I take those.
GHQ copper peptide and all that stuff. So
So, but you're just a wealth of knowledge. So folks can use you not just for stem cells or for an EBU, but for for the care that they need to maintain optimal health.
Exactly.
And you're a great example of taking care of your wealth and your health. I'm so glad we were on the show. We could talk on for hours. It's such great content to have you here because my job is to help people not only with their wealth, but their health, and physical and mental.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're feeling great, the people around you feel great. Your kids feel great. You're just a more productive, happy person in society. So I'm grateful for what you do. And thank you for being on the show. And let's get you back here. The next time you're in town, we'll talk about the peptides and just, more stories of success.
All right. Well, I think it was an awesome podcast. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll see you around.
All right.
Okay.
All right.